Hello, I'm Vedanjan. I'm a legal intern with Lexis & Company. In this video, we will understand what were the observations made by Delhi High Court while rejecting the plea of Juhi Chawla to stop the rollout of 5G technology, as these observations are critical for any law student or any lawyer stepping into the field. The Delhi High Court has made a strong or critical observation against the defective and vexatious civil suit filed by Juhi Chawla seeking to stop 5G rollout technology, raising apprehension about dangers of radiation. The court observed in the judgment that this is the classic textbook case of how not to draft a plaint, which should be taught in every law college and to young lawyers, so that such bloopers in drafting of pleadings damaging to one's own client are avoided. In fact, these observations were made by a bench of Justice Rajiv Andlaw regarding another case. A bench of Justice J.R. Midha, which considered Chawla's suit, said that these observations are fully applicable to her suit as well. The bench cited the following defects in her suit. First, Order 6 Rule 1 Clause 1 of the CPC provides that the plaint shall contain statement of material facts in a concise form, but no evidence by which they are to be proved. However, the plaintiff have not compiled with the Order 6 Rule 2 of the CPC, as first, the statement of plaintiffs are not in concise form, and second, the plaintiff have incorporated the evidence in the plaint. Second, Order 6 Rule 9 of CPC provides that the contents of any document shall not be set out in the plaint unless the precise word of the document or any part thereof are material. However, the plaintiff have not compiled with Order 6 Rule 9 of CPC and have reproduced the document in the plaint. Third, the plaint is stuffed with unnecessary, scandalous, frivolous and vexatious averments which are liable to be struck down under Order 6 Rule 16 of CPC. Fourth, the plaint have joined 33 defendants in this suit. However, the plaint does not reflect the compliance of Order 1 Rule 3 of CPC in joining 33 defendants in one suit. Fifth, the plaintiffs have joined various causes of action without complying with Order 2 Rule 3 of CPC. Sixth, the plaintiffs have not verified the plaint, which is mandatory under Order 6 Rule 15 of CPC. Seventh, in the affidavit filed along with the plaint, the plaintiffs have disposed that only para 1 to 8 of the plaint are true to their knowledge, whereas para 1 to 69 of the plaint are based on information and legal advice, meaning thereby that the plaintiffs have no personal knowledge of any of the averments made in the plaint. The suit totally based upon information and legal advice is not maintainable. 8. Since the plaintiff have no personal knowledge of any averments made in the plaint and the whole plaint is based on information and legal advice received, it appears that the plaintiffs want an inquiry to be conducted by this court into the averments made in the plaint, which is not permissible in law. 9. Since Section 34 of the Specific Relief Act 1963 deals with declaratory suits, a person entitled to any legal character can institute a suit against another person who denies or is interested to deny his right. In the present case, the plaintiffs never approached the defendants claiming any right, and therefore there was no occasion for the defendant to respond or deny to the plaintiff's alleged rights. In the view of the matter, the maintainable of the declaratory relief sought by the plaintiff is doubtful. 10th, the Section 39 of the Specific Relief Act deals with mandatory injunctions. The twin requirement for Section 39 are the existence of an obligation of the defendant towards the plaintiff and the breach of that obligation by the defendant. Both these requirements are not fulfilled. The maintainability of the mandatory injunctions sought by the plaintiffs are therefore doubtful. 11th, the plaintiffs have not valued the suit properly for the purpose of court fees. And 12th, the plaintiffs have not given the mandatory notice under Section 80 Clause 1 of the CPC. The plaintiffs filed the suit on 20th May 2021 in the registry, raised an objection to the maintainability of the suit. The plaintiffs, instead of explaining how the suit is maintainable, requested the registry to list the suit as it is with defects, and the plaintiff undertook to bear the cost and consequences of the same. Whereupon the registry listed this matter subject to objections before the court. The entire suit by the plaintiff is under Section 91 of the CPC read with Order 17A and Order 1 Rule 8 of CPC. However, no application was filed with this suit to seek the leave of the court to institute the suit. The court termed the suit as an abuse of process of law, which resulted in wastage of judicial time. Therefore, a cost of Rs 20 lakh was imposed, which was directed to be deposited before the Delhi Legal Services Authority. Also, the balance court fee payable of Rs 1,95,595 was also directed to be deposited with the Delhi Legal Services Authority. Shall utilize this cost for the cause of victims of road accident. Further, the court also observed that it appears that the plaintiffs have filed the suit to gain publicity, which is clear from the fact that plaintiff number 1 circulated the video conferencing link of this court on a social media account, which resulted in the repeated disruption of the court's proceeding. So, this were the observations made by the court, and for any lawyer and any law student, it is really important to understand how to draft a correct plaint before approaching a court of law. And this judgment really, and these observations of the court in the judgment really proves that same. Thank you.